And it's the news angle, bitch. Welcome back. It's your boy D.
And it's your girl CJ.
And it's the #1 stunner. What? Brandy.
And now I have to go listen to the whole song because I ain't heard it in like a minute.
Right, just to age myself, because if you weren't, if you were born after the 99 and the 2000, you're not gonna understand.
Don't nobody know about taking over the 99 and the 2000.
You're never gonna get it.
You don't know how to nuck if you butt.
You don't know how to do it.
What do you know about stilettos or pumps in the club?
In the club.
In the club.
We're so terrible.
Or girl fights.
Oh my god.
It's about to be a what?
Oh my
we
god.
about to throw them both.
Dude, the other day I saw a meme that somebody wrote and made up that said, "You really now going from the window to the wall in this quarantine." I was like,
there was a meme a friend inboxed me because I love getting inbox trash memes.
Of course.
But this one was like, I don't feel hypnotic or funky fresh right now. Like, so I was like, yes. No. But you can't help but see that. And you're like, you have to read it like Sierra and Missy.
Hypnotic and funky fresh.
Yes, we don't feel supersonic, hypnotic, funky fresh.
D, I think your computer has like some situation.
It only does this shit when it's recording.
It's so weird. The whole time we were fine. When we were
recording fine.
They don't want you to be great.
Anyway, we have a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we sure do.
We do.
So we sure do.
I'm gonna go ahead and start off with our first topic, so we can like keep going on and on. Let's talk about this Drake baby situation. Let's talk about that first. Everybody is got an opinion. I guess everybody thought the baby was gonna be brownish. I don't know. Like,
well, to be fair, I think a lot of people didn't really pay attention to who he had the baby with, and then Drake seems like so much so more like, and this is gonna sound weird, but grow with me. He seems like a full black, just light-skinned person rather than remembering he's half black and white. People forget,
and that shit pisses me off because people do it to me. Well, and I'm just like, y'all forget that I can be both because I am both. And which is why I'm slightly offended by all the people who are going in on his baby. First of all, it's a baby. It's his baby. And I was like, did y'all forget that he's half white? Did you forget that the mixture would happen? Because if you look at my tiny one, you know, she is very like milk tea colored with daddy's hair color. So she's dirty blonde.
And we have to work on that.
Right. And then, but her hair though, when it's out of, it's like Zendaya, water equals this. Her hair does this, but it's dirty blonde. So basically it's like Drake's baby. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, y'all really thought Drake was black.
Here's the difference, CJ. Here's the difference, CJ. Heather's a cute kid. Drake's baby is not. That's the difference. I think everybody was shocked at how the baby looked. But ugly babies never stay ugly. They always grow up to look good. It's usually how that happens.
Brandy, you weren't ugly.
I wasn't an ugly baby. Let D tell his truth now. There was struggle bus middle school and then at high school, but I was not an ugly baby. And then I had like struggle years later. But they forgot this man was half white. But that's because of how he's chosen to navigate his career and cater to the black side.
Hey, pull your your mic up a little closer to you. I don't know what happened.
Here? Like in my
I think you got your mic backwards.
It's backwards.
Wait a minute, hold on. I had it like this.
No, other way.
The light's supposed to be towards you.
There you go.
The light was towards me.
I know, but you had the speaker backwards.
Oh, let me stop yelling at him. Sorry.
You see what the fuck I gotta deal with all the time? People are fucking crazy.
But no, seriously though, I guess like everybody forgets that he's mixed. I guess it's kind of like all these others, and it comes down to what like Brandy has said in the past too, with people taking advantage of one side or the other and not really embracing one side or the other.
And it makes sense for him to do because it's worked. It's like, you're already going to get this mass appeal because of how you look. Mm-hmm. And then because you grew up very cultured and you were acting before, you're honestly like the perfect rap pop star, really. So, because you're perfect for Ellen, you're perfect for these night shows, but then you got the hood niggas fucking with you. So you can do your videos with Future, probably wouldn't ever be in the same circles of business as you because of how you look and what you experience. And I can't fault you for using that to your advantage, but I need people to remember that there are plenty of people that do this. And I don't know to say if Drake is one of those kind of people like when we were roasting Justin Timberlake where, oh, you're only using this
like Drake
to get that. I feel like he means it. Probably. I don't think he started like that.
No.
Because I feel like he almost started like more corny. Like people weren't.
Yeah, because they were respecting that nigga was on Degrassi for years.
They were respecting his, I think, his bars, as they say. But his level of coolness over corny now is just it's way up there, different than what it was when he first had his first couple albums and mixtapes. But that baby looked just like his mama, like just like his mother.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all.
And I don't feel like the baby is ugly, but I do want people to quit making a big deal about the baby just because it's a fucking mixed baby. Because he had it with some European girl. So the baby was going to be clear anyway. And I'm like.
Not clear.
Yeah, so, but.
Clear.
But clear. But but again, if these were two white people and they had a baby like that, no big deal. As soon as you add nigga in it, or naker, excuse me, as soon as it's naker blood in the mix, all of a sudden it's this gorgeous baby. You got to fetishize the baby, make a big deal about the mixed baby. It's so weird because I'm like, this baby got a dash of black because the daddy half, the mama ain't, a teaspoon of black, and y'all are fucking losing it.
At how ugly the baby was. It shocked me. It shocked me. I was like, whoa, that's your baby? Like, you know what I'm saying? You ever seen somebody's baby that was so ugly, kind of blew your hair back? You was like, oh, it's so precious. It was like that.
I will say this. Because
the expectation was here.
Not the expectation. I didn't expect
the baby hasn't made it yet. The baby's still in the process. He has to get there.
How is the expectation right here when I saw the baby mom? So to me, she wasn't nothing to look at and that or agreeably attractive to me. So how is the expectation? And then Drake ain't fine without his beard. Without his beard, Drake don't look good. So again,
he's goofy looking without it. It's not goofy. You know it's true.
It's the Hollywood illusion is what fucked me up.
It definitely was, but again,
just fucked me up. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, and then Corona, and no.
If the baby is getting made fun of, I don't feel like that's right. However, with the way they dragged Blue Ivy, go after this baby. Like, have that same energy for the mixed babies. Have the same energy for the mixed babies that you do for the full black ones.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Go for it. Go for it.
Moving on. She said, "Go for it." Mm-hmm. Speaking of babies, let's talk about Bad Baby.
Is that her name, really? Like her
that's what she goes by. If you don't know who that is,
that's Baddie B.
Is it? No, it's bad. Is it Baddie Baby? I think it's Baddie Baby.
I don't know.
I don't even know for real. I have to look it up.
I feel like I had to be under 25 to be able to say it for real.
Right. But so, like, when she first came out on Dr. Phil, like, she's known for being on Dr. Phil and using the phrase "Cash me outside," right? Yeah.
Bad Barbie?
No, it's got an H, but it's Bad Baby. It's either Baddie Baby or Bad Baby. What is it? It's Bad Baby. I just confirmed with my 15-year-old.
Okay, well, she knows.
Yeah, she knows. So anyway, she's being accused of blackfishing, which I think is crazy because the black community been knowing that she's been blackfishing.
I like that term.
From you like that?
Instead of catfishing, blackfishing, because
blackfishing.
because the blackfishing term came about because the Instagram models trying to look black without being black because they want to be us but don't want to be us. You know, and so now she's got this serious either makeup or tan, and then she's rocking like cornrows and stuff like that, you know, and the way she's doing her makeup is obviously very Kardashian, but isn't Kardashian makeup, black girl makeup. So it just, I beg to I don't know.
It definitely is, because all that shit they doing would be ghetto with us, but
it is ghetto with us. When we wear our hair in cornrows like that, the way that Baddie did,
and have our nails out to here and everything else,
we can't go to work like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I've seen in the comments, it's very interesting to me because I've seen people from our own society, black societies, you know, stand up for her, be like, hey, she's just grown now. She got makeup on. Like, nah, I'm going to have to beg to differ because I don't think it's the same thing. It's not like she enhanced her shit. She like went out of her way to look darker because that girl is pale.
Definitely pale.
Okay. And then she went out of her way to talk like that. And she went out of her way to do her hair like that.
No, go ahead. Yeah. Let D talk. D sound like he was about to defend her. Go ahead.
No, I was never mind, because never mind.
Yeah. D was about to Captain Save a hoe. D, you are always trying to save somebody.
No, you gotta be devil's advocate. You have to look at both sides.
Yeah, I see it. And, and it's not that I don't.
I see it more as she has a issue with herself, maybe, or she's blackfishing. It could be that she has a identity issue within herself and she yearns to be a part of this.
I think she's just trying to stay relevant.
She's trying to stay relevant.
Listen, and if she's trying to stay relevant, if she's trying to stay relevant, it's smart because it's actually working. So when you only have so much talent in a certain field, but then you can start getting press about you. At this stage in the game, for years, it's always been bad press is good press because it's
always. I was just gonna say that.
So you're still being talked about, and then she has to do what she's doing. If you're going to call yourself a rapper, because most of the time you can't look like Juna B. Jones at the library and then talk about being a rapper. Juna B. Jones. And people take you seriously. We don't. Like, you can't do it because we don't. Seriously. Because we want to gravitate. See, you know what? Listen, I'm about to take y'all to church. Come on.
Oh, come on, Pastor.
We want to gravitate.
Take your time, Pastor.
Because we motivate and cultivate. What we want is what we see, what we're used to in our family, in our community. But what's fucked up is that people don't understand. And as we allow more and more bullshit in hip hop, I feel like it gets away from the roots of it. And I'm not a hip hop connoisseur, so don't come for me. But I feel like if it comes from the gutter, from the jungle, from the Boogie Down Bronx or wherever it started in New York, it's coming from us directly. This is our baby. Not a baddie baby. This is our baby.
Right.
When you're putting on the nails, when you're speaking like you're talking and everything else, this isn't because you grew up in this shit. It's not because you are of color. You're trying the shit on you and then you're being rewarded for that shit by people that are your people and then by ours. I like that because if we're not going to be gatekeepers for this shit, we're too lenient. We too lenient as Black folks. We are.
I feel like was it like about 5 or 6, 7 years ago when the nail trend of putting holes in it and putting like little charms on nails came back? To me, it's a comeback because I did that shit in high school. Like I had the little nail screw. I did my own nails and shit like that. And it was already a thing for our culture in the 90s.
Right.
Because it was big with female rappers and female hip hop culture,
and those
right?
were in like different boroughs and cities. And it's like, if you didn't grow up in that, how could you know?
And if you're not into it.
You're right. It's fine to emulate because millions of girls did it when Madonna first got on the scene. So they're all wearing their tutus and their hats. And I get it, but you take it another level when you're changing up your vernacular and all the rest. That's what I can't
get. It's that part.
I can't get with that.
It's the part where they take the cornrows and call it boxer braids. It's the part
it's the appropriation.
Hip hop and call it EDM because they put more electronics on it. And
girl,
it's all of that. All of that is what the problem is. Now, had they taken the cornrows and say, I love wearing my hair in cornrows because I get to do this and that, because somebody was trying to make a point, well, what about the white women who wear their hair like that when they're boxing, which is apparently where they get boxer braids from, because women in MMA and boxing, they do their hair in cornrows. But I was like, okay, I get what you're saying, but also it's still cornrows. Like,
right.
It's not just because boxers do it doesn't make them boxer braids. It's just cornrows.
It's just better to say that than we steal from Black people. That doesn't roll off the tongue like boxer braids.
Ding 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 ding.
You say boxer braids, that takes the sting out.
Speaking of boxers. Yeah. Speaking of boxers, this flew in very well today. Floyd Mayweather's daughter, Ariana, apparently stabbed somebody. I did not read this. D, you going to? Oh my God, why do you have a knife?
Why don't you?
Because we are talking about Ariana Mayweather. It's very relevant for what's going on right now with this girl. She done lost her motherfucking mind. I don't know what happened.
Who did she stab, first of all?
Okay, so she is with this rapper. His name is NBA Youngboy Drama.
Okay.
You guys are out of the loop.
Rapper names, guys.
You guys are out of the loop. But yeah, NBA Youngboy, and I guess this took place in Houston. I thought it would have been here in Vegas. Of course it's in Houston,
of course.
Okay, Mayweather's like from, I don't know if he's from here, lives here, whatever, but he has a lot of ties here to Las Vegas. But this took place in Houston, apparently. And I guess the girl that she stabbed was the baby mama of NBA Youngboy, and I guess she's currently with NBA Youngboy. I guess the baby mama Yeah, very classy. The baby mama was at the house. I don't know what took place inside of the house, but the baby mama got stabbed.
Wow.
Yeah, she got stabbed. She ended up going to jail. She was arrested, and she was charged with the alleged stabbing of that lady. Yeah, and she's out on bail now. The bail was posted at like $30,000 or whatever. But yeah, it's messed up. I think it's bad enough that Mayweather himself is going through a lot of stuff because he just lost one of his baby mamas. She died.
Damn.
Like, it's
how
many
baby mamas he got?
Like 27 or something.
Damn.
No idea, but one of them passed away. This last month she died. And they still don't know why. They found her dead in her car, which is weird.
Oh, God.
And they say they ruled out foul play. So they don't know if maybe she had a medical condition or just something happened.
It's the CV, y'all. There was another.
They said it was not related to COVID-19.
Really? Oh, you can't say it. You gotta call it CV.
CV, my bad.
YouTube has like lots of bans on it. Isn't it crazy that we get banned or like they take you out of the algorithm if you say certain keywords?
Part of me says it makes sense because there's so much misinformation out there.
It is. That's why they're saying they're doing it.
Right, which makes sense why they're doing it. But then you're also possibly missing out on maybe some real shit because now they can kind of control how they want. But that's just me.
It's really weird. No,
that's like really sad.
Did he lose her, and they weren't together, but still they co-parented together, and it affected him some type of way. He did end up posting some pictures, some old pictures that he had of them, and he was like, "You were my friend, and I'm so sorry this happened," or whatever. Check that out on Instagram yourself. He posted it; it's still there. Also, he lost his uncle who like trained him and shit.
Oh my God, he's going
very
through
recently
stuff.
too. 2020. So 2020 has been fucked up, and now his daughter. I don't know if he bailed his daughter out, she bailed herself out, but he has this going on with his daughter now. So he's going through a lot. Sorry,
I wonder if she was acting out because of all the shit in her life as well, because that's like, her family members too.
That's her uncle too, and that lady wasn't her mom, but that's somebody that I'm sure she was close to. So I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm just over
to their family.
I'm just over any story that's about two bitches fighting over a nigga. I'm over it.
That's what my whole take.
Especially when he's clearly the one cheating. And what I'm always telling these bitches, and I say that lovingly to the women, what I'm always telling these bitches is the worst thing I think about being cheated, because I have been cheated on. So the worst thing about it is you don't know what he be telling this girl when they laid up, booed up, texting, talking, or whatever. You don't know what. So when y'all are talking together, of course y'all are going to get flared up because she's saying one thing, you saying another, and none of the stories are matching up, but you going so hard, but he's already stuck his dick in her. So I'm like, the damage is done.
Not the damage is done.
So candid.
I mean,
love it.
Like, I hate that this is over a guy, because at the end of the day, you all went to jail and stuff. The other girl going through what she going through, and what's this nigga doing? Probably laid up with another bitch.
Probably.
His business,
more than
out of
likely.
jail. Like, leave these men alone that do not know how to respect and cherish and honor you the way you would want your father to do, or to treat your child, or whatever. Like, leave.
I mean, but there's so many layers to that too, and like, I mean, I'm gonna say most of them who do that are not worth the fight, because you got to remember people are human as well, and everybody has their own stand. Well, I mean, but because I've gone through some of that stuff too, and like,
she pulling a Demetrius now. Shut the fuck up. Next topic.
No, I'm gonna finish.
No,
but like you know, there's certain times and places, and I'm gonna say this is like maybe 3 to 5% of those cheaters and cheated on in those situations that's worth saving. Most of them are not. Most of them are.
I don't believe once a cheater, always a cheater, because that would say like they all are like that. And I don't think that's 100%. Do I think like it's like hand sanitizer, 99.9? Hell yeah. I definitely feel that. 99.9.
Most of them will keep doing it.
Again, if they even give you that for the same statistics of something as serious as like physical abuse, because that typically is not a one-time thing. Yeah. Come on now. And
so if they don't change their attitude and actually work on changing the way that they are, it's not even worth it. Because if they do it and then they do it again and they keep doing it, then you really do have to leave.
And then people can only do what you allow them to. And like you said, there's layers to it because of how society looks at sex in men versus sex in women, how society grooms these men, how they're groomed in like their homes or whatever,
right?
How they are groomed to view relationships. And it's like, I can settle down when and if I choose to. And women are like, I got to take this guy and take this and just make it work. And I got to make it work no matter what, because they feel like it's scarcity. And you don't have to make it work no matter what with someone.
Even if you think about cartoons and things that we watched as children where there's two females fighting over a man.
Always.
Like in, high school movies or whatever. It's always been like guys having multiple females is a good thing in that culture. So it's just been built into our system.
Or it's just kind of played off like boys will be boys. And it's like, no. This shit is getting people killed. That's why them snaps all be women, because women be snapping.
They be knocking niggas up.
You know why they snap? Let me tell you why we snap.
Oh, I know why.
We snap because we take it, and we tell you that we'll be here for you to fix it. We'll try to help you. We want to give you all that we got. We be doing all the things, and then
all the things.
And then you drop, and it's always snapped on like the weirdest shit. It's not the actual act of what happened.
It's not the actual act.
No, it'll be
you drop the potato chips.
Accidentally dropped the plate on the floor, and you've had enough because now you know that you have to go and clean that up too.
I was literally talking to someone else about this because I'm like, there's only so much I feel like women can do emotionally to men, and not saying there's not emotionally manipulative women out there, but it seems like the majority of us, if given the chance, would not do a guy who drug us through the mud like the same way. Just because of how we love and nurture, we don't want to do it. However, what we will do is lash out in other ways, because it's like, I can't get you to fall for me how I fell for you, lie and cheat on you, and then have you stay, and then still keep messing up, because men ain't finna do all that. But what I can do is cut your ass. That's what I can do. Yep. What I can do is pop the kneecaps.
Pot of hot grits.
Listen.
D, put that knife down.
She took it back to fucking 1963. She gonna learn somebody
grits will fuck you up because it won't come off your skin right away.
It's sticking. It's sticky.
You gotta make that shit thick when you make it, when you're ready to use. Not ready.
Have you done this before?
No, nigga, I'm just saying. If you wanna go worse, use hot honey. Hot honey's good too.
I would say if CJ was messing with black men like that, she probably would have done it. Since she's with these white men, she maybe threw some quiche at them or something, but she ain't gonna do.
She threw a hot quiche.
Not a hot quiche.
She threw green bean casserole. You take this.
Green bean casserole. I was gonna say that same shit. She threw some green bean casserole.
She said, think I'm playing, Rob. Think I'm playing, Rob.
Green bean casserole.
Okay? I know you do. You have to. It's survival now. Shit. We don't want them to get you at the family reunion, girl. You better make that green bean casserole.
Mine is tasty.
Girl, you got
Is it like how my mom's is tasty? Because my mom, she put too much soul in her green bean casserole. It didn't taste.
And then she said,
"White people green bean casserole."
I don't make white people green bean casserole. Yeah, it has a lot of soul. My best friend's husband, who's white, was like, "This is the best green bean I've ever had." I was like, "Because it's not white people green."
No, CJ's like, it's called seasoning.
It's seasoned.
Seasoned.
Well, anyway,
when you go over your white friend's house, you're like, "This shit is bomb."
I'm done.
What is this? Green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole. That's what that is.
Things I've never said. Things I've never said.
I think I'm gonna move this to our next episode. But before we go into our quick break, seriously, we're gonna come back and talk about the weirdness that is happening because of the CV, the C virus everywhere, and all the hookups that are happening, because Brandy let me know some Joel Osteen is putting some shit together. So stay tuned.
I know, she said hookups, and I was like, what's the tea, sis?
What?
Not that kind of hookup. But anyway, we'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned.
And we're back.
Oh my God.
Bitches.
I was waiting on it.
I know. So last couple of things I wanted to talk about that Brandy brought to our attention is apparently Joel Osteen is going to do a online Easter Sunday service with the Kanye, the Mariah Carey, and the Tyler Perry. And I don't know how to feel.
I, for one, will not be attending this hell house.
It's going to look like Oklahoma in there, all flat.
It's definitely going to look like Oklahoma.
I'm just trying to figure out what each of these people have to do with anything. It's such a random. It's like a plate of random.
It sounds like a joke, like Mariah Carey, Tyler Perry, and Kanye walk into a bar, and you're like, "What?" And the bartender's Joel Osteen. What? What's the punchline?
This is gonna be a train wreck, and I hope it is. I almost want to watch it because of it.
I kind of want to watch it.
I do too. I just want to. I'm curious, not because I'm, religious for them, but like curious as to.
And then I'm like, virtual, like how is that going to go? Because I know it's going to be Brady Bunch style, but I'm like, unless they break the COVID, law and get all together. But I don't get why that's necessary during this time, because I almost feel
maybe he needs ratings so that people will go online.
I hate that because I almost feel like if you're going to be a pastor or evangelize and what have you, I can understand why a number of followers is important, because that's just business at the end of the day. If you're wanting to create more followers, you gotta have people, you gotta tune in. So I get it, but I don't know, just kind of like the methods to do it don't sit right with me. And for some reason, this don't sit right with me.
Like, so if it was just Mariah Carey, I'd be like, oh, she's gonna sing some songs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or if it was just Tyler Perry, I would have been like, oh, he's just gonna.
Or if it was just speech. If it was just Kanye again, because they've linked up before.
Right.
But you're kind of doing like this mega thing. And I'm like, but why?
Like, I feel like Kanye knows Tyler and Tyler knows Mariah and they all got together. Like.
Yeah, because there's no way Joe just called them individually and they said yes.
Don't believe. Yeah, it's
I think Kanye probably got it, and they were like, "We'll do it for you or with you." Because other than that, you ain't never.
What the fuck are they gonna do? Is my question. What the fuck is gonna happen?
They're gonna sit on cakes in the church.
Nah, booty cakes.
Booty cakes in the church. I don't know, but what the fuck is gonna happen? Like, I'm assuming it's gonna be a musical compilation, at least between Mariah.
I mean, if Kanye is going to be painted in silver or gold, I'm willing to watch it because I missed it last time.
Like, look, is Kanye gonna let his Black choir sing at Joel Osteen's church?
Is he gonna sing Jesus Walks?
Oh my gosh!
Because I'll watch it.
I'll watch it, but I'm just curious as to like what they have to do with anything. I don't know. Like, individually, I could see what's happening, but all together, it feels like a plate you would take, like, you put a hot dog on there, and then you put some rice on it, and then you put, like, a whole ass, like, fried fish on it next to it.
It don't match.
And then you just have fruit salad on the other side.
Yeah, but y'all are weirdos that like all your food touching, so that might work for y'all.
First of all, you're the weirdo psycho killer.
You're the weirdo.
I'm not. I saw these great plates at Walmart, too. They have them now, like, but in party style, because they had all this summer stuff out as if there's going to be a summer. They had all this summer stuff. Summer stuff out for the picnics and stuff. And then I saw the plates, and they all had like individual shapes.
Those are for children.
First of all, fuck you.
The kids' plates.
You want a bento box for every meal?
I would love that. Bento.
No.
So that's not psycho.
I mean, I don't know. I just, like, what is Tyler Perry gonna do? Is he coming as Medea?
I don't know if he's gonna do a play.
And that was CJ's a messy queen for that one. You know very well he's not showing up in drag.
You don't know.
You was showing up in drag to all the motherfucking churches shit.
Well,
and that's why I have a problem.
And then Joel gonna say, not this church.
But see, that's why I have a problem with a lot of people who are like claim to be Christian, who are against people who are transgendered or drag queens or anything in that nature. But everybody's okay with Tyler Perry dressing like that, or Big Mama's House when Martin did it.
I don't get it when they have that same venom, especially when it's people that they may hire to do stuff in their church, like the organ player or the choir,
and then they find out, and then.
You know what I mean? Or whoever's around there anointed and praying. But
oh my God, who's that one guy who's like known to be absolutely gay, but he was like, I'm not anymore with the bow tie? You know,
I don't like men's no more. What's his name?
Yeah, I don't like men's no more.
Him. I like women. I will not carry a purse.
He's with some lady. I'm sure she got paid, or she's just doing it for
fame. She looked so uncomfortable.
That was they did this Instagram Live or something, Facebook Live, where they were like hugging each other. It was the most awkward thing.
God,
I was watching it like, this is the most awkward thing. It would be like if D was to cuddle one of us, like, in a way that's not friendly, and we'd be like,
yeah, that's the look on her face. She was like,
yeah,
it wasn't you didn't give me enough money for this shit. Yeah, it was fucking weird. The shit was awkward.
Gross.
The shit was weird, but yeah, it was definitely a weird exchange. I don't know how much money that woman had received, but you could tell she
not
was
enough, because I can't
for hire.
I couldn't. I really couldn't.
Wait a minute. Let's discuss this really quick. How much money would it actually take y'all to be with somebody you really didn't want to be with?
Not much, knowing my two
Like if somebody be like, I'll give you $10,000 just to pretend to be with you.
That was my fucking number in my head.
It was 10,000. Yeah,
10,000. I'll do some freaky gutter butt ass shit for $10,000.
We know Gatorade bottle. We know. But like, no, what I'm saying is like $10,000 a month, a year.
Yeah, because I couldn't.
If you could put me on a payroll a month.
Well, okay,
it's going to be
because the situation.
What? I'm sorry.
Because if it's $10K for the year, I'm not taking it. Like
not
that's
for
not
a year.
For a year, $10K to do something once.
It would have to be like monthly.
No, if you got to be this person's person for a year. So my
every day?
Maybe yes. So my sign-on bonus might be like 10,000 up front, but for the year, we're talking a completely different figure.
I'm talking six figures for the year.
For a year, if I got to do some shit every day, I'm gonna need at least, I'm gonna say, like, what I got to do. Like, if I'm going,
you know what I'm saying? There's limits to this.
No, CJD. Let's.
So break this down. Break down exactly what my responsibilities.
No, we can break it down. Let's save this for the longer episode because we didn't wrap up the news angle. Because I do.
All right, we're gonna talk about the y'all tune in, and I'm gonna tell y'all what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
for some money.
For some money.
And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do for a Klondike bar.
I'm done. Speaking of churches and pastors, let's talk about how there's a Louisiana and an Ohio pastor in church that's out in the news right now because they won't stop doing church services in person amongst the CV virus situation.
That's because Jesus is going to help them.
Let me talk about the guy who interviewed some people from the church in your state, Brandy.
Don't be saying my state like that.
Well, it's Cincinnati.
I claim one city. We don't pay attention to
what is it called? Solid Rock Church or some shit like that?
Couldn't tell you. Not my people.
With solid.
Not my people. I don't know. Who is this man? I don't know this man. I'm sorry to this man.
Sorry to this city.
No, but so the people coming out was like, it was so absurd because they were like, well, I'm not going to get sick. I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. I said, okay, but like common sense. Like my thing is like, are you going to go, like we talked about it, are you going to go out of your way to let a rattlesnake bite you and then say that you were covered in the blood?
They have churches that do that.
I know. That's what I was saying. There are churches who do that, which people die every year. And because they don't have their antibodies to do anything with it.
And then if they die, they're like, oh, they must not have had faith.
And this is why I always say science and spirituality go hand in hand.
That's common sense. Like, I feel like God blessed us with common sense. And like I told CJ,
he did.
I'm like, I don't feel like people like that even deserve to be saved if you're going to be doing all that. Like,
if you're going to be testing
if you're going to be testing it like that.
You're testing God.
Testing God, right.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, go look at her face. She said, bitch, move on, kick rocks.
Take your ass to Oklahoma, bitch.
No, seriously though. So, and then the pastor in Louisiana is apparently getting cited by the governor and stuff and the cops there, but they don't care.
But you know what? No, miss me with that with the governor because didn't they just still have Mardi Gras?
Bitch, no, they canceled it. But like the thing is that even if you cancel things, like in Japan right now, they canceled the cherry blossom festivals, but people went out to the area where there's cherry blossoms.
Oh my God.
I
cannot imagine being on Bourbon Street.
People were still on Bourbon Street doing whatever, and they had to shut it down completely so that people would leave. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like Japan just announced being in a pandemic, basically. They were saying it was a national emergency yesterday.
Wow.
Right. And
y'all niggas late.
It's crazy because they
normally
were
they
one of
the
like
first
that.
Ones. Yeah,
they were the first ones with all those people in it, but because they had a slow spread, they kind of.
Well, you know what, and especially Japanese people too, they take a lot of precautions anyway on their own.
They do, but here's the thing: half
of
them
do, half
of them
slow.
Don't. Yeah, but now they got comfortable because the spread was slow, so everybody started going out in droves, which is happening in China right now, by the way.
Yeah,
tourist spots are packed in China because they have lied about their numbers and people believe them, and now they're like, oh, we can go out into public. Why are people even
believing? I can't.
The fake numbers? I don't know, because that's what they're using officially, and it's on the world media.
I'm like, do you want to go out and see Venus in China that bad?
where you have to, I don't want to go nowhere that bad. I barely want to go to the store 5 minutes away.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Walmart down the street, I still don't want to go.
I'm like, when y'all can come up with a cure and get this like really, really under control, okay, I'll feel safer going out. But that
is y'all's Walmart on Tank 10 like mine just did? Them motherfuckers is tripping.
What do you mean?
It's like the club. It's like how I told you guys how Costco was, where they're only letting certain amount.
Oh yeah, all my stores are Target, everybody.
Yeah, they blocked off.
Home Depot.
They put a whole bunch of carts in the parking lot.
Yeah, carts.
They blocked it off, and then you have to come in one way. The carts go out.
It's like a ride. It's like a Disney ride right now.
Like everywhere. A Disney ride, or like Bella Noche's nightclub. So we only letting so many people in at a time.
Yeah, they did that.
They're doing it everywhere. I think it's cool, but it's not cool because like even then people still aren't doing the social distancing thing in the store. So to me, it's just up to like because
I think that's why they had to before, because before the store was packed because everybody was in at once.
They didn't give
and they're like, nah. So at least there's fewer people in at a time. And I do see people walk around spraying shit and wiping shit down.
The last time I went to a store, I was able to get some items that I hadn't seen in like a couple of weeks. So it's working because they're either exactly, and they can stop throughout the day instead of only waiting to the end of the day or night. Right. Everybody's in there.
I do know that I changed my shopping habit because I used to do every other Friday, mid-afternoon to late evening to go shopping, but now I go Monday or Tuesday morning at 6 or 7 a.m.
Yeah,
because I ain't about to catch them.
They won't even let us go in the morning that early. That's so it's reserved for people who have illnesses, right? Until 8 a.m.
So immunocompromised and elderly, I believe. Some stores do it every day. Some stores are only 2 to 3 days a week.
Ours, they're doing it that way too. And if you're like a nurse or an essential worker and you have your like badge or ID, they're letting you come in earlier too.
Right.
I thought was nice because the way their hours are set up, when you have time to like shop or do anything, you're a part of the people that have to work this whole time.
And like it, even like with my friend who's like she's at home but she's with her kid and her husband is working, so she can't leave the house with her kid and she doesn't want to. So I'm like, if I'm out already, because I leave my kids at home, because even if Rob's not here, my older one's home. You know what I mean? She's old enough to be there for a couple hours. Like you gotta. I was telling her, I was like, it's time for that whole raising everybody with a village. Like if you ain't got a village around you, you're in a lot of trouble right now.
I told you I had one of my employees had to move back to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Because he's like, all this shit's going down and it's just me here. He's like, fuck that. He had to resign.
Gotta have a village. Gotta have a village. Like, if you need something and you can't get to it and they can, doesn't even matter. Like some people I'm not even charging stuff for, and people don't understand why. I'm like, because I'm gonna need something someday. Yeah. And I'm gonna need you to have my back as well.
Set the precedent
it's
now.
A village. It's a village.
When shit hits the fan,
yeah, sowing that seed.
I don't believe it's in like the whole tit for tat thing, but I'm saying like I want to give as much help as I can, because if I turn around and need it, I want that karma in my.
People are willing to help
in my way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you find the helper.
Yeah, I'm not forgetting about nobody that's helped me through this time.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? By the way, I don't know if you noticed, because of the CV virus, a lot of celebrities are starting to perish, and there are some random ones in there, and also some big ones in there too. Like, did you guys see the post I made today about Tom Hanks?
Probably not.
Yeah, I saw
it. I probably didn't hear you though.
You sure didn't hear
probably
me.
Saw
you don't hear me though. No, but I saw.
Did you read it?
I didn't see that. Yeah.
So
did he die?
No. So he posted about stuff
in October.
No. So Tom Hanks, had tested positive, him and his wife, for the CV, and
I remember.
I think he's back stateside now, but he was quarantined in Australia, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. And he had posted this typewriter that was made by a company called Corona. And then his wife and him, he said, right under that picture, he said they played a game, and the points that his wife had was 201 points. Well, the event 2201 that happened in October was a calculated, like, what happens if a false virus named the coronavirus, oh, I said it, is out in the open and something happens, how will people react? And that was the testing that they did in October of 2019. And the people who were involved were like Bill Gates and other elites and other companies that were up there, like pharmacies and things like that. So there's a theory out there that Event 201 was predictive of what's happening right now, and they released it on purpose because it's a large-scale testing that they're doing with humans, basically.
I could believe that.
You know, and there's another one, you know, it's either testing or they're trying to control the population. There's other shit going on behind the closed doors. There's also one that said, all the celebrities and all the people who are dying might be part of the trafficking ring. Because like the first person the first person, I remember this because it was so weird to me that the first person they said that died in Italy was a Vatican priest. Like
one of the cardinals or whatever?
Yeah, no, he was one of the priests, yeah. So to me, that's really weird because you think about in conspiracy theory realm, if you think about Catholic priests, they're always in that sex trafficking ring because of the pedos, right? So to me, it makes a lot of sense. I'm about to go research this as usual because that's what I do. You'll see more shit online later, but I just thought it was weird. Like, and in Japan, the guy who died, the comedian, I think we talked about it last week, after he died, everything started kind of escalating really fast. The prime minister of Tokyo went ahead and said, like, you know, it's a national emergency and blah, blah, blah. So, oh, look, and Rob just in. He was like showing me his cell phone. Says that Bill Gates to spend billions on coronavirus vaccine development. So
you know what else I had thought about? You remember that movie? I hadn't seen it until like way later in life because someone showed it to me. But Trading Places with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And the white guys basically betting each other just for fun and sport. And I'm just like, I've seen movies where like the fucked up twist ended up being the corporation unleashed the virus just for fun and sport. And the people with the money and everything else kind of decided, okay, who's going to handle this the best or who's going to make the most money from this or whatever.
So if we're going to talk about that, let's talk about how they've been doing that in movies for years. Get Out is the most recent one. Like Trading Places is now I want to rewatch it.
You have to rewatch. Like when I
haven't watched it in a while. I saw clips.
When I watched it with how I'm thinking now, if I had saw it when I was younger, it probably wouldn't have hit the same. But initially, I was like, I just kept saying to myself, I can't believe this was like something that was really got made. Like this really got made. And I'm like, you can't tell me people aren't doing this like for real.
And how many movies do we have right now that are like elites or rich people paying or have secured like lesser in like economically like lesser guaranteed people into a place like to hunt them or shoot them or have them kill each other.
Or even that movie on Netflix, The Invitation, and how it was everybody kind of like in that Hollywood Hills setting because the ending, spoiler alert if you ain't watch it, but the ending ended up being, I guess, when you put the lantern out, that let people know that the sacrificing had already happened or whatever.
And it was done.
People that had survived all of this, when they went out on the back porch, they saw all these beautiful mansions in the hills like that with all these same lanterns out. So this was happening across the board on this night. And I'm just like, I believe in that evil shit happening. There's just no way we have a world where there is such good and there's not like this type of awful shit happening.
I mean, you know, like I feel like it's a thing. Like, you know, it's like the whole, there's levels in hospitals that nobody knows about. Except for the people who knows about it.
Or Eazy-E. That shit fucked me up.
That was really messed up.
What
or
was
even
it?
in
Eazy-E.
Oh yeah.
And even in prisons, like there's a Netflix movie out right now called Platform, I think. And just I'm even gonna mess it up for y'all. Just watch the preview for it because the way that this prison is built, there's a large hole. Like imagine just a really tall building, and the center of it is all caved out, but everybody has to sleep and be on the edge of it. So, but it's all open concept. So when people are getting to eat, You eat what the next people lower down to you. And then the people under that get that. And the people under that get that. And of course, that start causing some discord. The elite people that are putting all this stuff down, girl, the metaphors alone. I was like, this mess is going to be good. And the preview is crazy. So you have to watch it. And of course, I'm pretty sure there's lots of crazy killing or whatever. But I'm like, there's crazy stuff going on in prison. Just the stuff that I hear my brother tell me about since he's been in for almost 9 years now. And moving from place to place. It's just, you're not telling me that these people that run these corporations and businesses, because if you ain't know, prison is a business.
Of course. Of course.
If you're not telling me you're not doing messed up stuff on purpose, like just to do it. You don't need a reason, because that's a lot of people's rebuttal against conspiracy theorists is, well, what's the reason? What's the reason? You don't need a reason. There are people that do messed up stuff and they ain't got no reason.
They're bored.
They wanted to eat the children. They wanted to burn their wife alive. Like, they ain't got no reason. It's not.
They didn't have no reason.
They had no reason. And people can't deal with that. I feel like you got to be like really, as crazy as I know we talk and that we are, I do feel like you have to be really mentally and spiritually sound, like really grounded in who you are with that stuff, to understand that people do not need a reason for this type of evil.
That part. Done. And I think that when you're still looking for the answer to why, you're still not there yet, because you're not. Like, there's no why to like people getting sick. You know what I mean? So if that happens in nature, that means it can happen, but by man-made things. Like, people need to understand there's like a yin yang to everything that happens in life. And so if nature can do it, the man-made things can make it happen.
And another thing people need to realize is that just because you want to know the answer why, that doesn't negate the fact that it's still happening.
That
Who gives
part,
a fuck why?
That part.
We need to stop this shit from happening. Fuck a why. We'll figure that shit out after we kill the beast that started this shit. That's what people need to realize.
That part.
I'm like, if we pay,
let's get to the source.
That makes sense, but then people's source is different, because I believe like even tracing stuff back scientifically first and then dissecting it spiritually. I like to do that. So if scientifically you're like, okay, they have schizophrenia or whatever they may be diagnosed with, right? And then spiritually, maybe you pick up a book like Pigs in the Parlor, or maybe you pick up some other like demonology book and you're like, hey, it's a really good book. Pigs in the Parlor is really good. And it'll break down, hey, people that typically deal with this, it's been associated with this type of demon.
The part.
I like to trace it back like that. So if we're going to get to a source, if you believe in what we believe in, and to me, whether you believe in it or not, it's still real. I don't care. It's still real. I don't think a lot of people really are ready to deal with that shit. They still want to believe we pick our president. They really ain't going to deal.
I know. Well, see, that's what I was saying earlier when I said science and spirituality goes hand in hand, because you are more prone to be a certain way depending on your spirituality. It's the same thing as all the things that are happening right now. There was that one woman, I forget, was it New Jersey? Somewhere up there, who went and coughed on $35,000 worth of groceries in a grocery store, and they had to shut the grocery store down, take her ass to jail, and then we had to waste a COVID-19 test on her because we didn't know if she was lying or telling the truth, but somebody caught her coughing on everything in the store.
And then even prior to that, the people licking ice cream.
Did she have a reason?
But no, see,
what
that's the thing.
What was the reason?
There was no reason, but here's the thing, and I said it in one of the posts that I did too. My favorite go-to, because it's the easiest explanation to tell somebody who don't believe in the reason or not reason, is that spiritually, if you're not sound, like Brandy said, you are easily swayed by outside nudges, right? So spiritually, if you're not sound, you can be nudged by the darker side a little bit more just to go lick that Bluebell ice cream and put it back in the freezer. There's nothing in the good side telling you not to fucking do that shit. You don't need a reason, because you don't even know why you're doing it. That's why there's no.
And I think that's why a lot of them people that end up doing crazy stuff and they sitting in there in jail afterwards.
And they're confused.
Or how many times have we heard people say, the devil told me to do it? And everybody like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this nigga just said.
And like, I know what you're saying.
I just watched Summer and Sam last night. I was like, this shit is nuts.
Because I know people, when we say that, people are like, oh, yeah, you blame it. And we're not talking about the people who are always blaming it on the devil. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking
about, the devil's busy. It's like, no, Barbara, balance your checkbook, bitch.
That's not why you're broke. Nobody made you buy all that stuff. But I'm talking like actual evil things, because in the movie Constantine, I don't know if you guys have
seen that
movie. You know the scene where the preacher overdrinks his alcohol, and the cashier there is human, but he's of like angel descent, right? And then the other dude is of demonic descent, and they're both humans, but they both are nudged by the opposite ends of the spectrum spiritually.
Such a good movie.
You know? And I watch it. That's one movie I never get tired of watching.
Never.
I watch it
that movie was way ahead of its time.
I might get off of this and watch it again tonight. Like,
it was way ahead of its time. It's so good.
It so was. And then like it's just one of those things, like it's like when you could easily do something bad but you don't do it, it's because you're spiritually a little bit more sound than the bad thing that you could do easily. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you have to be out of your mind, and not just saying that flippantly like crazy. You literally have to be out of your sound mind and spiritual body, not your physical, your sound mind and spiritual body, to do some of the things that people do. And you're not telling me that's only because of a scientific thing, because some whatever in their brain went left. You're not telling me that's the only reason. Like, I can't.
It's a mixture. It has to be. And that's why I like to debunk things before I try to post it, because people went around posting like that Dean Koontz book stuff and Sylvia Brown stuff all over the internet when this virus took off, and they were like, oh, look at this article and this passage, they said it, and it was half of those were doctored. And I'm like, you still have to, like, you can't just believe everything you see, read, especially on the internet.
But it's fun.
It is fun.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny, but I'm still like, if I'm gonna put out a seed of conspiracy, I'd rather it be as accurate as possible for me.
She said, I got scholarly sources, bitch.
Listen.
Okay, so, all right, so listen to this shit. This is what fucked me up, because I had a conversation with Mr. Soto about this. Okay, so you know what fucked my mind up?
What?
So I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble for saying the name of the city, but Wuhan. Have you seen the kanji for it?
Oh, umbrella? Yeah.
No, the kanji for the city.
No, what is it?
It's in Japanese. I'm thinking of
the laboratory.
In Japanese, it's bu, like buso, like weapon.
Yeah.
And then hang, as in the people.
Weaponized
Wait a minute.
people.
How do you spell that?
Wuhan?
Fucking crazy.
No. What he just said.
Buso, bushido, anything bu like that, it's weapon. And to me, what I know in Japanese, it's a weapon.
Bu, but the kanji bu is the word for weapon.
Is the word for.
And so what weapon. I was thinking of, I'm sorry, so the laboratory in Wuhan that supposedly made this virus is in kanji, spells out umbrella, like Umbrella Corporation from the fucking movie.
Oh my, like the fucking movie?
Like the video game.
What movie was that?
Like the video game.
What movie was that?
It's from what is it?
Resident Evil.
Thank you, Resident Evil.
The symbol. I saw
because the symbol is the same.
Has...
Raccoon City is an It turns in you can spell raccoon and Corona with the same letters, right?
I cannot.
And
these
so
people are sick.
I know. But so here's the thing, and I'm gonna post another one later. There's a few more things that I have. I'm just waiting to do the research so I can post it without being stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get as many sources of it being honest and truthful. Like, I hate people just posting whatever, because then you look it up and like you're like, this is not real, guys. Like, don't do it. But anyway,
so, for all those that want to know, bu kanji, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
bu.
And that's like the bushido, for bushido.
Like
Let me see that again.
Show it to her. It's the kanji for bu, as in weapon.
I'm tripping out. I'm tripping out.
Why?
So I know when he's showing it to me, really on his side, it's like that, right?
Yeah, it's backwards, yes.
So,
yes.
Taking away, and you have to excuse me because I'm not disrespecting the culture when I say the little markings. I just don't know what to call.
Right.
Taking away the little markings on the outside of that. I would binge watch Castlevania last night because I was... Hold on, because when you start talking about stuff, you start seeing like, don't start. It's late. I got plenty of salt and oil around here.
Oh no!
I know how to use it. Don't laugh at me.
You're making pasta?
or exorcising demons or exorcising with demons. Am I right?
I'm done.
These monks that were possessed by these demons that trying to open up a hell portal with some alchemists. Long story short, that symbol, and I'll have to get you the rest of the information behind it, was used to open up a portal to hell.
Well, yeah, because it's the weapon, it's the kanji for weapon, so they use stuff like that.
They put it on the outside of houses, and then when they were ready to do the ritual, the houses exploded, because you always need blood. It's always going to be about blood. The houses exploded. They took the souls down to this demon that they had nailed to a cross like it was Jesus. It opened up a portal to hell. They bring back Dracula. It was a lot going on. But that's why I was interested in seeing it. Because I'm just like, what does this look like?
See.
Was it that symbol?
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably the symbol. I mean,
I'm not playing.
Seriously. But just to wrap it up so we don't go too long, because we still got another episode to record. But if you guys are listening to this, do your research. Like, for real. Like, it's interesting to see what kind of stuff is really happening in the world behind closed doors, closed curtains, and like the veil is unveiling right now, I think, and a lot is coming to the forefront.
Things are being revealed.
Yep. And I think by the end of the year, there's going to be a lot of things that people won't be able to believe that happen, and they're going to be naysayers, even though there's proof of it. You know what I mean?
Because people just don't want to believe in anything.
Well, it's the same people going to church still.
Why would the government lie to us? I'm like,
oh my God, those people really bother me, because I'm like, I hate that you trust anything that much. I really hate it.
Because they infected all them niggas with syphilis back in the day. Shit like that. Like shit that they admitted to doing.
I literally, living with somebody who had an infection for some reason, that after he got a blood transfusion, and then dating somebody who got stationed somewhere that doesn't have bases as far as like us knowing about it. And I'm not going to say the country right now because we're recording.
Well,
OPSEC niggas, OPSEC.
OPSEC. Protect your people.
I mean, I'm not, that person was like somebody I dated when I was like 19 and stuff, but there's just no way that any of this isn't happening. And you know what they say? What you imagine them doing is a lot less worse than what's actually happening behind.
For sure. That's why I never really trip about what they so-called tell us.
What we can find is not even, it's the tip of the iceberg.
Stuff.
It's the tip. And and I don't know if you guys ever done this. If you go online, there's people like that I follow that do conspiracy theories. There's certain ones that I think stumbled upon something, and they've recorded people watching them in their house, outside, when they're out, and it's like the craziest thing. That's why I pick and choose the things that I do say. Like, things that you can research and I can research easily is not going to get you caught up, because it's all over the internet. But if you find something that nobody else has found, keep that shit to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
You gotta be respectful.
And I'm going to tell you a creepy ass situation that happened to one of my cousin's friends who was very vocal online about certain conspiracies. And got a creepy ass inbox that said, "What the fuck are you doing? Are you trying to get yourself killed?" And they were like, "What?" Just a rando, a faceless profile with no information. Stop doing what you're doing. If you really want to know what's going on, I can send you some books, get a P.O. box or some shit like that.
Oh, hell no.
Person set it up and sent literature on some real shit.
Nah, fuck that.
And it was like, you don't always have to say everything that you find. You find some shit, never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing or knows.
That's my rule. Like, if you find stuff, keep it to yourself. There's like certain things. It's even for like, prepping for the CV situation. Like, I think I only called a handful of people. I might have coded some of my messages online, but like I told everybody to get ready. I did.
I told you,
but you don't hear me though.
But you don't hear me. I was right.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just at the store and the ladies were like, "Where did you find your masks and stuff?" I was like, "Girl, I was way ahead of you by like 2.5 months. I'm sorry." Like, I just knew, because like, and not only that, educational estimations is very important in conspiracy theory, because if you are staying educated about your current events and what's happening around the world, you can make some pretty decent estimates of what's going to happen around you. And it literally did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Everybody went after toilet paper. Everybody went after food. Everybody went and got
And you've been calling that shit out since January.
I try to tell y'all.
But y'all didn't hear me
now. I can't wait to make a shirt that says,
for anybody who's watching this episode and you're coming across us for the first time,
go back to our
January
back and
watch some of our older videos. CJ called this shit out in January.
And let me tell you how many inboxes I've gotten so far.
Until I wasn't able to wipe my ass. And I had to go to fucking Del Taco and ask for extra napkins so I could wipe my ass.
Just get some banana leaves, dude. Like, just...
How fancy are you? Banana leaves.
Banana leaves.
I live in the desert.
I'm sorry. I mean, but you know, like, it's really weird. And like the inboxes I'm getting right now is interesting because it's some people that I thought would never even admit to even like, I don't know, entertain a conspiracy theory. Is like, hey, so what you said like 3 weeks ago about this shit, you know, this is happening here. And look at this video I found, CJ, and look at this article.
Videos are funny. But it's always, it's of course people are going to be more susceptible to believe something when it actually affects your everyday life. Because people didn't think it was going to be shutdown time for their asses in their life. They just thought this was going to be an Italy Chinese thing because got a president that literally says the Chinese virus. So they
China.
So
came from China.
They just think it's going to be a China thing. And then the next thing you know, you're going to have the military patrolling your streets because your asses don't want to leave the beach. It's real for people. So now they're like, they freaking out.
And you know, for the most, like 90% of the people that are out there living their lives, like when truths happen, they have to go through 3 stages. It's by a philosopher, I forget his name, but the first stage is absolute laughter and making fun of the person who brings you the truth. The second part is being upset about it, and the third part is that you believe it because it becomes self-evident, and we're finally in self-evident. It took 3 months, but we're here now.
And that's not a long time.
No. But anyway, to end this depressing...
Right. In conclusion, we're all gonna die.
In conclusion, I just wanted to say that our last little bit is it's been 25th anniversary of Bad Boys, Martin and Will. Bad Boys. What you gonna do?
Love that movie. Second one was better though. I ain't gonna lie. Out of the 3 of them, the second one was better.
haven't seen the last one that just came out, so I need to do that.
Oh, it was really good too.
Was it? I do need to watch it.
I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be trash. They did a good job still incorporating the fact I like that they didn't try to make them like they were in 1 and 2. They basically took, hey, this is how old you are now.
So they actually made them like that old, like it kind of like Lethal Weapon where they got older. And
and Martin's moving different because he's a little heavier, and you got the younger kids in there, and you feel the way. And I like that dynamic.
Oh, I gotta watch it then. Maybe that'll be my weekend movie.
As being so cool and running around.
I'm just impressed at how well they have aged, both of them.
I know they still look very good.
They still look very good.
Black don't crack, bitches.
Black don't crack.
And Asian don't raisin.
And then for the most part, Will and Martin stay to themselves and mind their business.
I will say this. I have been weirded out that Will Smith went super social in the last 2 years or so. And then all of a sudden he has a bunch of movies. Like,
that makes sense.
About but we'll get to that on another episode because I have a whole conspiracy theory about that too.
We gotta wrap this one up.
We do. Anyways, if you've enjoyed us thus far,
what are we doing, D?
Rambling.
We are rambling. We're off task and rambling. Anyway, if you've enjoyed us, please make sure to subscribe to your favorite podcast platform. Why do you guys always do this at the end? I don't understand.
Because you really try hard to like still say the whole spiel, and it's just funny to ruin it.
And then if you're watching us on YouTube and love us, please like and comment and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you check out some of our older videos. We have lots of great things.
No, this is my favorite dance to do.
I can't. They're about to dance. I can't.
Hey.
Ramble wine. Ramble wine. Do the ramble. Do the ramble.
The Newsangl drops every Monday at 9 a.m. Central, and our other episode drops on Thursdays every week at noon. Central.
Ramble time.
I can't stand them.
Move your waist, girl. Ramble time.
Not move your waist, girl. Anyway, stay blessed. Stay logical. Stay home. Sit your ass down somewhere if you ain't got to go nowhere.
Sit your ass down somewhere.
Oh my God. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. Okay? Hey. God. All right. On that note, peace out. Love you guys. Thank you for listening and watching. Later. Bye.